What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today I want to talk about the number one biggest mistake that every new and returning player makes when it comes to collecting armor and setting up loadouts, and that is the overinvestment into the health stat. In years past, resilience is what sat at the top of the character stat board, and if you wanted to get through in-game content, you needed to invest heavily into this stat. But here in Edge of Fate, things are different. The only way to improve your resilience is through damage resistance bonuses like Woven Mail, Frost Armor, and Amplified. There's also weapons and armor sets that provide resistance bonuses. Players' overall resilience has been rebalanced, and it's no longer a controllable stat. In its place we get the health stat, but what does that actually do? When your character sits between 0 and 100 points of health, you'll receive a small amount of health back whenever collecting orbs, providing you with what is essentially the recuperation boots mod, but this maxes out at 70 HP whenever you're at 100 total stat points. And the only bonus that you get when pushing this beyond 100 points is that your overshield, which is the white bar, will recharge faster when it's depleted, and you'd have as many as 20 points added to it whenever you get that stat to 200. We have bonuses like Restoration, Devour, Healing Grenades, weapon traits like Heal Clip and Unrelenting, and even armor sets that grant health back, so there's no reason to invest in that benefit whenever it comes to our character stats. We're much better off focusing towards improving the uptime and performance of an ability or our weapons, because it's through those means that we would be able to get our health back anyways. In addition to the health regen on orb collection, we'll gain improved flinch resistance as we invest into our health stat, but that's going to max out with a 10% bonus, which is significantly less than an unflinching armor mod. So the only time you're really going to fill that bonus is when you're in Crucible, and even still, it's only going to be a marginal benefit. To make the health stat even more redundant, Bungie has given our class abilities the added benefit of creating overshields, which would provide as much as a 40-point overshield when our class energy is at 200 points. This would only be a 4-point overshield when it's at 110 points, but any overshield will be able to resist 75% of incoming damage. There's several builds that rely on the use of barricades, thrusters, rifts, and dodges, so giving those the ability to increase our durability and performance is a much better benefit than what we would have out of our health stat. I'm not saying that you need to invest into the class stat with every build, but you definitely do not need to invest into the health stat. You're going to find much more success when building into the abilities that define your build. So when you are collecting armor, if it has any stats of health on it, then I would suggest to scrap it, because you could use those points towards a stat that actually makes a difference. And with that said, it's going to be important for you to adjust your ghost mods to match what you're focusing on with your build, and remember to change those mods when you change up your build. You don't want to be getting melee focused armor when you've changed over to a grenade centric build. As you collect armor and make your way up through the power grind, you'll notice that it can become rather costly to infuse weapons and armor. So the last tip that I offer in today's video is to only infuse items into themselves. If you infuse a Bushido helmet into another Bushido helmet, it's only going to cost Glimmer, but if you infuse the Bushido helmet into a TechSec helmet, it would cost Glimmer and unstable cores, and it can become very costly once you get to those higher tiers, so save yourself the cores, because you're going to need them later on. And with that, we have come to an end of today's video, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on the new armor systems, and what your favorite new builds and weapons have been so far, so let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel, and so does being a member, so a big shout out and thank you to all of our channel members. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.